A long, long time ago, there lived a man with his wife and a beautiful little daughter. They lived very happily together. Sadly, one day the mother passed away. Before leaving this world, the mother said to the girl, "My beloved daughter, I am very proud to see how kind, caring, and beautiful you are. Please, never stop doing good things, no matter what happens to you." Soon, the father decided to marry a woman who he wanted to be a second mother to his daughter. The woman moved into the man's house together with her two bad-tempered daughters. Soon after the wedding, the stepmother began to show her displeasure with the man's daughter. She could not bear her kindness and beauty and made her do all the drudgery of the household. But the poor girl never dared to complain to her father, as his happiness meant the most to her. After the work was done, she used to sit in the chimney corner, which is why her family started to call her Cinderella. One day, the royal family decided to give a ball in their palace. The prince wanted to choose his future wife on this ball, so he invited all the girls from the kingdom to come. The stepmother said to her daughters, "One of you two has to be the princess of this kingdom." On the day of the ball, the stepmother woke Cinderella up very early in the morning and told her to sew dresses for her stepsisters. Cinderella spent all day long helping her stepmother and stepsisters dress up for the ball. When all the preparations were over, Cinderella asked her stepmother, "What shall I dress for the ball? I really want to go there too." The stepmother laughed at her and said, "Don't say silly things, Cinderella. A prince will never choose you to be his wife." Having said this, the stepmother with her daughters went to the ball and left Cinderella alone at home. Cinderella was crying when someone knocked on the door. Cinderella opened the door and saw a beautiful woman standing in front of her. The woman said, "It is very cold outside, and I am hungry. May I come in, please?" Cinderella let the woman in the house, prepared some food for her, and made her a place near the chimney. "Why are you home today? Don't you want to go to the ball in the palace?" the woman asked Cinderella. Cinderella burst into tears and told the woman her story. "You are a very kind person, and I will help you," the woman said. "I am a fairy and will help you to get ready for the ball in no time." Having said this, the fairy touched a pumpkin with her magic wand and turned it into a golden carriage. Then the fairy touched two mice with her magic wand, and they turned into shiny white horses. Finally, the fairy touched Cinderella's clothes and immediately turned it into a beautiful dress. Cinderella looked at her legs and saw glass shoes shining like diamonds on her feet. "I can't believe I'm going to go to the ball," she exclaimed. The fairy said, "Remember, Cinderella, the magic will only last till midnight." Cinderella's arrival to the palace in her elegant carriage caught all the guests' attention. They were astonished at Cinderella's beauty when she entered the palace. Everyone was curious to know who the girl in a beautiful dress and amazing shoes was. The news about the beautiful girl reached the prince very fast, so he immediately rushed down to meet her. He fell in love with her at first sight. "Do you want to dance?" he asked. Cinderella agreed, and they danced together all evening while the guests were looking at them with admiration. Cinderella was so happy dancing with the prince that she almost forgot what the fairy had told her about the time. Right before the clock hit midnight, Cinderella remembered the fairy's words and ran towards the carriage to leave the palace. One of her glass shoes fell off, but Cinderella left it behind. At midnight, her carriage turned back into a pumpkin, the horses into mice, and her astonishing dress turned into old clothes. The prince fell so much in love with Cinderella that he decided to find her at all costs. He found the glass shoe Cinderella left behind and thought this would help him find her. The prince said, "The lady whose foot fits into this glass shoe will become my wife." The next day, the prince took the glass shoe and went with his servants throughout the kingdom in search of the beautiful girl. All the girls in the kingdom tried to put on the glass shoe, but it would not fit any of their feet. Cinderella's stepsisters also tried to wear the little shoe. They tried really hard to slip their feet into the shoe, but all their efforts were useless. The shoe did not fit. Cinderella's stepmother did not want her to try the shoe on, but the prince saw her and insisted, "I want her to try the shoe on." A second later, the prince exclaimed with surprise, "The shoe fits her perfectly. She is the beautiful girl from the ball and the future princess." The two stepsisters and her stepmother were awestruck. They could not believe their eyes. Finally, Cinderella was able to say goodbye to the horrible days she spent with her stepmother and stepsisters, and could leave them behind to start a new life. The young prince brought her to their palace, where she felt happy and loved. They got married and lived happily ever after.